What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Big B, Brian Hanley. Welcome back to Steelers Almighty. Appreciate you guys being in here. I am feeling 110% better today than what I did yesterday. So appreciate you guys being patient with me yesterday. Thank you very much. And thank you for showing up today. We got a good show for you guys. So first up, Mason Rudolph equals the Steelers' best option. I mean, Mark Caboli seems to believe that Mason Rudolph could be the Steelers' Sam Darnold. I'll give you my thoughts on that. Second, some more Steelers are weighing in on Big Ben. It seems like it's just time to bash Big Ben. Like that seems to be the thing to do now. And I don't know. I mean, you didn't do that while you were playing, and now why are you doing it now? It doesn't seem. I mean, everybody, I guess, has a podcast. Everybody has something to say. So you got to sell your podcast, I guess, the best way you can. And I get it, but to me, it just seems like a lousy way to do it. Now everybody seems to be piling on. I don't know that I like it. I'll talk about that a little bit. And then, Tyreek Hill got released yesterday by the Miami Dolphins. Is it a good idea for the Steelers to bring in Tyreek Hill? We talked about, the Steelers probably need to bring in a veteran through free agency. Do you bring that guy in to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Do you bring him into the fold? What's he got left? Before he got hurt, he wasn't playing bad. The previous year, he had basically a torn ligament in his wrist the entire season. But last year, before he got hurt, he wasn't bad, man. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll discuss all of that and more. Appreciate you guys. Look, we got a first super chat. My main man, Fading Velocity, said Waddle over Hill. Waddle wants out of Miami, but Waddle's not available. And Waddle would cost a lot as far as draft capital. Tyreek Hill costs nothing. So as far as draft capital is concerned. So appreciate you guys being in here. We got people in here. Members, you always get your comments and questions up there. No speed bump. Hill, says Mike in Texas. I get it. My main man, B. Wayne, the former players done turned the Steelers into the Cowboys. Yes, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's just every time you look up, there's another Steeler talking and saying this and saying that. And I'll be honest with you. I live here in Dallas. Cowboys don't do this. Dallas Cowboys, they're not going around talking bad about other teammates. They don't do that. You don't hear Troy Aikman bashing Emmitt Smith or Michael Irvin or vice versa. You don't hear that stuff. And I live right here in Dallas. You don't hear any of that. This Steeler stuff's got to stop. It's got to stop. But we'll get into all that, man. We'll get into all that. So first off, let's talk about Mason Rudolph. So Mason Rudolph, Mark Caboli seems to believe that Mason Rudolph is the next best option if Aaron Rodgers doesn't return. Saying that Aaron Rodgers is the next Sam Darnold if he's given a full 17-game slate. And my first thought is to say you're out of your damn mind. You're out of your mind. Now, I'm not saying that Mason Rudolph is the worst, quarterback out there. But I think Mason Rudolph is exactly what he is. He is a backup quarterback. And so for Caboli to say that, again, he got a podcast too. It's February in the NFL world. Sometimes you need things to talk about, man. Mason Rudolph hasn't been given any. They think that it's only the Pittsburgh Steelers that have never given Mason Rudolph an opportunity. Mason Rudolph has been in the league, and nobody traded for Mason Rudolph. So to say that the Steelers never gave him an opportunity, well, neither did anybody else. And also, he was a free agent. He went to sign with the Tennessee Titans. Didn't get an opportunity to start there either. Why? And then when he did, they sucked. So, this notion that the Steelers have thwarted his career and they've, they've shut his career down. They've limited him. Every team could have traded for Mason Rudolph. Not to mention he was drafted in the third round. So every team could have literally drafted him if they wanted him. And then teams could have traded for him if they wanted him. None of that has happened. So I just don't know the notion of going out there saying that Mason Rudolph could be the next Sam Darnold. You saw flashes of Sam Darnold, even when he was with the Jets. You saw flashes of talent that he absolutely had. And then you saw him in Minnesota where he was really, really good. But here's the thing. Is anybody out there saying that Sam Darnold is a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League? There might be a few. Dan Orlovsky's going to say that because, he thinks every quarterback out there is in the top 10. He's never said a bad thing about any quarterback. But Sam Darnold's a good quarterback. Mason Rudolph is not that. Mason Rudolph is not anywhere close to that. And again, why hasn't anybody given him an opportunity? If they really believe that that's what he is, then why hasn't anybody given him an opportunity? And why does the Pittsburgh Steelers, why do we have to be the guinea pig? Like, if people believe that he could really be the next Sam Darnold, why do we have to be the team to take that chance? I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to take that chance at all. So I just, my whole thing, and this is a good point, Torsha. Yeah, Sam Darnold wouldn't have taken this team to the Super Bowl. No, he wouldn't have. He absolutely would not have. He would not have. I think Mason Rudolph is exactly what he is. He is a solid backup quarterback that if you need a couple of starts here and there, fine. But if you need, like, if your quarterback goes out like week 3 and he's going to be gone the rest of the year, you're going to go looking around for another quarterback. You're not going to just say, well, we got Mason Rudolph. That's it. We'll ride with Mason Rudolph. That is not the case. You know that, and I know that. If Aaron Rodgers would have gone out in week 3 of last year and been done for the year, the Steelers would have went looking for a quarterback. They absolutely would have. And we all know it. We know that. So this notion that Mason Rudolph is something that nobody else even remotely believes, and I'm not going to say it's not true because everybody can have their opinion. But that is not my opinion. I do not think Mason Rudolph is the next Sam Darnold. I think Mason Rudolph is exactly what he is. He is a quarterback, a backup quarterback that if you need some spot starts here and there, he can do that. If your quarterback gets hurt in the middle of a game, he can come in and fill in. But we saw him play against Chicago last year. How did that look? And everybody wants to blame Arthur Smith and the game plan. Okay, but here's the thing about that. I'll admit that Arthur Smith's game plan was horrible. I'll admit, against the Bears, it was terrible. But here's what nobody ever says, and I'll say it, is that just because your game plan is a bad game plan, does that mean you have to play bad in it? Like, you can have a terrible game plan, but then you could play good. Like, there's nothing that says that, the game plan was bad, so I had to play bad. No. No. That is not the case. That is not the case. Just because your game plan is bad, that still doesn't mean you can't make the right reads. You can be accurate with your throws. All of those things can be true. It is just not, the game plan was bad, so I'm going to go out here and throw 40%. No. Mark Malone, you're exactly right. He turned in a stinker against Chicago. That was a winnable game, by the way. A winnable game. You remember that 2-minute offense that we were running? that he kept throwing check down after check down after check down. I'm like, if you don't throw the ball down the middle of the damn field once, and he never did. He never did. So I just, oh my goodness. Whew. I just, for me, again, I understand that the talking points, but CID said I'd rather have Duck Hodges. How long has Duck Hodges been out of football? It's been a minute. Duck Hodges is winning though. Ain't Duck Hodges like engaged to Lainey Wilson? I mean, there's worse things in the world. Shoot. Tell you that right now. B. Wayne says that Rudolph had his shot when A-Rod got hurt and it let me down and I stuck my neck out defending he could be good. I mean, so many people out there screaming about, preseason football. And I keep trying to tell people, and you guys get after me, but I'm never going to change. Preseason football is not real football, ladies and gentlemen. They don't game plan. The intensity isn't the same. It is not real football. So do not get your football knowledge from preseason and what somebody looks like in preseason. It is not the same. Not the same. Zeal just became a member. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. But it is not the same. Mike in Texas looked like he got burned here. He said, I defend Mason on the crackdowns. He said, after all, he was sitting behind Captain a check down. I mean, I get what you're saying. KTB says a glorified scrimmage. Yes, that they overcharge fans for. Yes, it absolutely is. That's what preseason is. So, B. says I was blinded by that Bills playoff game. Well, here's the thing. And you would be right. What was that? 2023, I believe. Yes, 2023 season. When he played, what was it, the last 3 games when Baby Hands got hurt, Trubisky was exactly what we thought Trubisky was. So finally, Mike Tomlin finally said, well, we'll go to Mason Rudolph. And Mason Rudolph played good. Remember, he played good in those last 3 games. He didn't play bad against the Bills. And so everybody thought, well, he must be a good quarterback. Then he goes to Tennessee, can't win the job. When he does get the job, he stinks. They didn't have any weapons and had a bad line, but he still stunk. It just, again, the thing to remember, Mason Rudolph has been around this league for a long time, ladies and gentlemen, and nobody has said, hey, we need to trade for Mason Rudolph and make him a starter. We need to give him an opportunity to compete for the starting job. Think about this, like teams like Arizona. Arizona, when Kyler Murray got hurt, they had Jacoby Brissett. Did they say, you know what, we should bring Mason Rudolph to compete with Jacoby because we think he can possibly be better? Did they do that? No. Did any team that lost a quarterback, like the Raiders, did the Raiders say, you know what, we got Baby Hands back here as the backup. We need to go get Mason Rudolph. We need Mason Rudolph to come be the backup because Baby Hands is absolutely horrific. Did the Raiders do that? No. Did anybody do that? Did anybody say, hey, you know what? I need to go get Mason Rudolph to be my backup quarterback? No, they didn't. The only people who did that were the Pittsburgh Steelers. So while we're not here to bash Mason Rudolph, because I don't think telling the truth about him is bashing him, I think he is what he is. He's a solid backup quarterback that can give you a spot start here and there. I think obviously every quarterback's going to be better with better weapons. But I don't think Mason Rudolph deserves to be out of the league. I don't think that at all. especially the way quarterback play is. No, Mason Rudolph has a spot with the Pittsburgh Steelers or any franchise for that matter. You know, so I think he's a good or is a solid backup. I shouldn't even say good. I don't want to go that far. I think he's a solid backup. I think that's what he is. So, but to say he's the next Sam Darnold is crazy talk. Just because you haven't seen, like, even when Sam Darnold sucked with the Jets, there were flashes where you saw the talent and you're like, okay, this guy can play. He just needs a new situation where this guy can get the thing done. He can get some stuff done. And he did. And he did. Now, getting the stuff done, you had to put him around two of the best wide receivers in football and with a solid running game. But okay, is Mason Rudolph going to have that in Pittsburgh? Like, is he going to have one of the best running games in the National Football League? Is he going to have solid receivers in Pittsburgh? So before we go that route, let's think about what we're talking about. Let's think about what we're talking about. So somebody said, who is this? Dustium said that Mason is a top 5 backup quarterback. I mean, you'd have to go through him, but I don't know that he's top 5. I don't know. But then again, maybe he is. But I'll say this, the quarterback play in the National Football League is pretty atrocious right now. Pretty atrocious. It's bad. It's bad. So it's bad. So this is a good point by our new member. Said Tennessee tried with Mason, then immediately go and draft a QB at 1. That says a lot. Yeah, they did. And that was after they tried, mayonnaise man, Will Levis. Remember, they had drafted Will Levis the year before, Mr. Mayonnaise. So, and you are right. If you put Mason Rudolph on, this is a great point. Put Mason on Seattle, they are a 9-win team still, I believe. Probably. But what were they this year? A 14-win team? So there's your difference. You put Mason Rudolph on that Seattle team, you're right. I think they probably win 9 games, maybe even 10. But they don't win 14. I know that. So well, hold on. Maybe he meant Mason is top 5 backup QB in the AFC North. No, he's better than that, man. Stop it. Stop it. No, Mason Rudolph is okay. He's okay. But I don't know. The next Sam Darnold is just wild. It is wild. You have seen nothing from Mason Rudolph that says that he could put together the 2 seasons that Sam Darnold just put together in back-to-back years. You haven't seen anything like that. But you could also say he hasn't played on a team or an offense that's had the weapons. You could say that. So, but again, I don't want to get into to bash and Mason Rudolph. I just thought it was a wild take for somebody to say that he could be the next Sam Darnold if given 17 games. So, and this is true. That's true from Z. Z said Bengals had 2 Pro Bowl QBs. Has that ever happened before? I venture to say no. Have they had 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks? I would venture to say no. So that's wild too. Yes, I am feeling better, Steeler Lee. Appreciate you. I am absolutely feeling better. Uh-oh. Torsia's breaking them down a little bit. Mac Jones, Jacoby Brissett, Spencer Rattler, Davis Mills, Joe Milton. First of all, Torsia, you're going to stop with this Joe Milton stuff, okay? I've told you before about Joe Milton. Stop putting him. Joe Milton is not a good quarterback. I don't care what any of you all try to say. I don't care if Joe Milton can throw the football to the moon at the speed of light. You know what Joe Milton can't do is drop back 5 steps and throw a 8-yard slant route accurate. That's what he can't do. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it with this damn Joe Milton. Stop it. Jesus. Again, somebody else that nobody wanted and has been available. Joe Milton, again, Joe Milton he's the guy, he lost 2 jobs in college. Not 1, 2 in college. Why does that guy need to be my starting quarterback in the National Football League? Why does that guy even need to be on my team in the National Football League? He lost 2 jobs in college at 2 different schools. And yet, here we are. Oh. No, CID, you're wrong. You're wrong. Milton would have thrown the ball in the middle of the field. Do you know how many interceptions safeties wouldn't have moved off the hash marks if Joe Milton was the quarterback? Because they know he's going to throw the ball over the middle of the field. He's just going to airmail it and throw it over anybody's head. The safety's just going to backpedal. They're going to stand on the hash and backpedal and just say, he's going to throw it to us. We just got to catch it. He's going to throw it to us. He's going to throw it over the middle. Now, he might break our hand because he's going to throw the ball 150 miles an hour. We just got to catch it. Sheesh. But, yeah, Mason Rudolph, I don't know. He is what he is, people. He is what he is. He's a backup quarterback for a reason. For a reason. See, now you're talking, Torch. Now Milton would throw the ball through the Heinz bottle. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Now we're talking. We're talking. We're talking. Joe Milton. I remember when people were on my head saying we need to trade for Joe Milton. And Joe, I'm like, come on, guys. Are we? And I didn't get that mad because Steeler fan, we were desperate. We were so desperate for quarterback play. We were grasping at anything. And that's why I didn't get on y'all that bad. But there were so many people in the chat. We got to trade for Joe Milton. Oh, he could be great here. Do you know how strong his arm is? I'm like, guys, no. No. But I get it. Hey, we were jaded, man. We didn't have a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers was playing whatever he was playing with us. And we had no QB. So we were desperate. So we were desperate. Z says we're still desperate. I mean, yeah, I think we are. I think we are still desperate. So Steeler Lee said Mason is done. He fooled all the Yinzies with a few good games, not realizing how bad the other 2 QBs were on the roster. And that's part of it. I mean, when you got Baby Hands and Mitchell Trubisky as your competition, you know, you're going to look good. Anything that you do looks good. Just think about the Steelers quarterback room in 2023. Just think about that for a second before we move on. You had Baby Hands Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph as your quarterbacks. Let me say that again to you. The quarterback room for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2023 was Kenny Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph. And somehow the damn Pittsburgh Steelers went to the playoffs. Oh, oh man. Woo! Lord have mercy. So, feeling better, Kenneth Jones. I'm feeling better, man. Thank you for asking. Feeling better. Uh-oh. Big Show, he's out here. Big Show said Milton and accuracy go together like the producer and push-ups. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Now we're cooking with fish grease. Now the chat is cooking. Now the chat is cooking. Producer and push-ups. I love it. I love it. Now we're cooking, people. We are cooking. Mm, mm, mm. Let's move on. Let's move. I can't do the Mason Rudolph is the next Sam Darnold. I mean, come on, Kaboli. What are you doing? Like, seriously, come on, man. All right. So it is officially open season on Ben Roethlisberger. It seems now that Joey Porter Jr. has kind of opened, or Joey Porter Sr., excuse me, has opened the floodgates. Teammates are just piling on. Steve Nelson has now come in and said that Big Ben was selfish and roster sabotage. Well, let me attack the latter there. Roster sabotage could be one of the wildest statements that I've heard from anybody. Quarterbacks get paid in the National Football League. That's the way it works. And for Steven Nelson to tell Ben Roethlisberger that he has to take less money is idiotic. Like, he doesn't have to take less money. It's the organization's job to not give him as much money. Like, Ben Roethlisberger didn't hold a gun to Art Rooney the second's head and say, you got to pay me this. They chose to give him that money. Now, you could say, well, he could take less. Well, Steven Nelson, you could have taken less too. Did you give up any of your money? So I hate when guys say stuff like that. You got to take less. No. It's not my job to figure out the salary cap. I got a life. I got a family. Yes, I want to win, but I don't have to sacrifice my money for everybody else. No, that's not how it works, because you damn sure know that the organization isn't going to sacrifice any of their money for you. So why do you have to do that for them? Stop it. So saying that it was or sabotage, roster sabotage, the Steelers did that, not Ben Roethlisberger. And they could say, well, Big Ben threatened to not play and he was mad. I'm like, and what? What difference does that make? If you had a better option than Ben, you should have ventured out and got the better option. You should have done that. But to sit here and act like Ben Roethlisberger, you got to take less money. No, you don't. So, and that's exactly right, B. Wayne. Like, he was the GM to, no, he wasn't. You chose to give him that money. Hell, you even heard Kevin Colbert. Didn't he come out and say it's Big Ben and everybody else? Well, what are we supposed to think about that? So, I don't know. My thing is, as Steven Nelson, look, it just seems to pile on, because what he's talking about is they were paying an elite quarterback money for a limited mobility, declining arm strength, short passing offense. Well, okay. But what makes you think that paying all the other guys, and what he's saying is that they had Joe Hayden, Mike Hilton, Bud Dupree, and Stephon Tuitt. Well, first of all, let's break down those guys. Joe Hayden never left until he retired. So he was kept. The Steelers kept him. Mike Hilton wanted more money to play a different role than what he was playing with the Steelers. Mike Hilton wanted to get paid outside corner money when he was a nickel. We weren't going to give him that. Oh, by the way, nobody else did either. All right. Bud Dupree got paid big money. You can't pay everybody, man. You can't pay everybody. You know, there's a salary cap. And Stephon Tuitt, I don't even know why he brought his name into this. Stephon Tuitt got paid by the Steelers, and Stephon Tuitt quit or retired because Stephon Tuitt's brother got killed in a car wreck, and he hurt his knee, and he was never the same. So I don't know why you brought him into it, him or Joe Hayden. Like, they stayed with the Steelers. So what are we talking about? I don't know. To me, all the choppiness and all the stuff that we're talking about is silliness, in my opinion. I just, all this Steelers talk and people bad mouthing everybody. You didn't have to do that. I get where Senior is saying, but why now? You know, and some are saying because, you know, that, well, he's trying to keep him out of the Hall of Fame. First off, the voters of the Hall of Fame know everything that Ben Roethlisberger was accused of doing. They know all of it. So it is not going to be breaking news for Joey Porter Sr. to go out there and say that he was a bad teammate or any of the other off the field stuff. Like, he's not breaking any news. People had just forgotten about it, or I don't even know if they forgot. People just weren't talking about it. But if Ben Roethlisberger is going to get into the Hall of Fame, which I'm pretty sure he is, these things aren't going to keep him out. They're not. You know, that's not going to happen. Now, is he going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer? I'm like, I mean, if Bill Belichick can't be first ballot Hall of Famer, I guess nobody should be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, wow, what are we doing? Like, what's the Hall of Fame even? What's it about these days? So, but we'll see. We'll see. B. Wayne says Steven Nelson high of all that wide receiver dust he was getting left in. Like, I guess, and chat, please let me know. And I want y'all to be dead serious with me. Be dead serious and answer me and say, B, you're out of your mind. Was Steven Nelson really even any good with Pittsburgh? Because I don't remember him being that good at all. I remember him being okay. Just okay. I don't remember him being some elite corner or good corner. I remember Steven Nelson being okay. That's it. I don't remember him being outstanding. Now, if I'm wrong, just no, B, you're wrong. You are wrong. But I just don't remember it that way, man. I don't remember it that way. I thought he was average. I thought he had one decent year, but he was average at best. So, okay. It seems that I'm not wrong because everybody in the chat saying, nope, average. He kept getting injured. He was one decent season. Okay. Thank you. I thought I was wrong. Because he talks like he was Rod Woodson out there. Have y'all noticed that? Like, Steven Nelson talks like he was Rod Woodson. Now, don't get me wrong. You're in the National Football League, so everybody can play. But he acts like he was the key to the Steelers' defense or something. I just don't remember it that way. I don't remember it that way at all. I remember him being a decent corner that was okay. And better yet, I remember him being better because of the pass rush that was able to get to quarterbacks and making him look like he was probably better than what he actually was. That's all. That's what I remember about him. Again, I could be wrong, but apparently I'm not. You guys are telling me I'm not wrong because that's how I remember it. CID says Steven Nelson will never even be invited back to Steelers functions. No, you can't bash the organization and think you're coming back. And maybe he doesn't want to, you know. better than Cockrell, but what is that really saying? Nothing, because Cockrell was awful. Hell, it's like Artie Burns. Y'all know Artie Burns was still in the league? Did y'all know that last year Artie Burns got a check the entire? Now he tore his ACL, so he got hurt. But Artie Burns is still playing in the National Football League. Like, how's that possible? Artie freaking Burns. Ooh. Oh man. So then our man Jordan in here is saying Aaron Rodgers was average last year. What are we saying about average? Is Aaron Rodgers bashing everybody on the Pittsburgh Steelers? No, he's not. Is Aaron Rodgers acting like he was the greatest thing since sliced bread? No, he's not. Steven Nelson's talking like that. That's what we're talking about, average. Yeah, Artie Burns is still playing football, man. So he's still playing football. As bad as he was in Pittsburgh, he hadn't been in Pittsburgh in what, like 6 years? He's still playing football. God bless him. So God bless him. Good for him. So apparently James Daniels got released. Wonder if we bring him back. I mean, James Daniels, I think, is only 28 years old, isn't he? Let me look, because he was young. But I think James Daniels is only 28. Yeah, he's 28. He'll be 29 in September. I remember when he came to the Steelers, he was young. But yeah, he's 28 years old. So I don't think we bring him back, though. I don't think the Steelers need to bring him back. I don't think we need to. Well, the Achilles was in 2024, so he played 2025. I think last year he got hurt. I think it was his triceps that got hurt last year with the Dolphins. So yeah, I was in favor of actually signing James Daniels back last year and just give him a small prove it deal, but the Dolphins gave him big money. I was like, well, yeah, we ain't matching that. So, but I like him. I mean, when he's healthy, he's decent. He's better than decent. He's good, but just not healthy enough. Just not healthy enough. Not for my liking. Yeah, that's the whole thing, Howard. He could be a good backup to McCormick. The problem is if we're being honest, if James Daniels is healthy, he's better than McCormick. Or at least he was. He might not be anymore, but he was. So I don't think the way offensive line is, I think James Daniels can go somewhere and find a starting job. So I don't think he's going to come to Pittsburgh and be a backup. Or you could bring James Daniels in to play right guard, and you could move McCormick to left guard, which was his actual position in college. But for me, I'd rather go a different free agent and go in the draft and get us a guy. So that's my whole thing. That's my whole thing. I would rather do that than bring James Daniels back. So I'm telling you guys this right now, chat. I am telling you guys right now. I just want you guys to understand. I am leaning more and more on drafting the left guard out of Penn State at 21. I can't get away from draft simulators where he is there at 21. 6'4", 330, doesn't give up sacks, and is a road grader. I know we need a wide receiver. I know it. I've screamed about it. but I am leaning more and more into taking him at 21 if he's available. I don't know, guys. I I don't know. Oh, somebody said the same thing. Jordan Barnes said, hot take, I think we draft him. Yeah, I don't think it's a hot take. Vega Leon. I don't think that's a hot take. I'm leaning more and more. That's the thing. We need we don't need 5 wide receivers, KTB. We need 70. Okay? We need 70 wide receivers, damn it. But if you're O-line and just y'all know how I am. You know that you play from the inside out. You know that's how I live. You know that's where my bread is buttered. Football never changes that way. So if you got a good line, do your weapons have to be all world? It helps, but they don't have to be. I'm just saying, if the Steelers go that way, I'm not going to be mad at all. I am not. Now, if we go corner or edge rusher, something like that, I'm going to be pissed off. But if we go with my main man, Leon, I'm not. I'm leaning more and more that direction, people. I'm just telling you. It seems to me like the Steelers could do a lot by solidifying that offensive line. A lot. So, a lot. Steeler Lee, I guess the question is, do we get O-line help early or do we get weapons early? See, the thing about it is the Steelers can do both. They got plenty of picks. Wide receiver pool is deep. I don't think you can pass it up, the opportunity to get that man to be your new left guard. I don't think you can pass up that opportunity. Better yet, I wouldn't pass up that opportunity. But it's more and more like he's not going to be there. If he's there, I think it's an easy draft pick. I think it's easy. But that's where I'm at with it, man. I'm starting to fall into that. So I'm starting to fall into that. Yes, he is Steel City. 330 with leverage. He's built for the AFC North football. Send the card at 21. You're damn right. You're damn right. I don't even think like that's up for debate. And I know, well, you got to have receivers. And we do. We do. But I'm just the guy that I'd rather have a great offensive line than a great wide receiver room. Because if you have a great offensive line, you can have just a good to average wide receiver room, and you're going to be good. The wide receiver room, and let's not mistake it, the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't had even an average wide receiver room in 3 years. That's the problem. Don't confuse the Steelers wide receiver room the last 2 years as average. It hasn't been. It's been below average. In 2023, with Pickens and Deontay Johnson, okay, I can live with that. Now, pair that up with a really good offensive line. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking. So that's where I'm at with it. But I just don't know if he's going to be there. I don't know if he's going to be there. And that's a good question, Mr. Malone. What if, or Mr. Malone said, what if Lemon is there, though? I don't know. I don't know. That's tough. That's tough. What I would really like to say is you take the guard, you use a second and a third round pick to move back up into the first round. And maybe you don't have a second round pick, but you got a bunch of thirds. You take a second and a third round pick, you move back up into the first round, and you take a receiver there. That's what I would do. So that's what I would do. I'm just a guy that is he David DeCastro? He's bigger than DeCastro. That's the thing. He's bigger than DeCastro, and he's just as athletic. So you look at David DeCastro, throw another 15 to 20 pounds on him with the same athleticism. That's what this guy potentially is. So we'll see. We will see. No, and you're probably right. We probably can't pass. We probably can't. You probably can't, but I don't know. Let's move on. Speaking of wide receivers, Tyreek Hill got released by the Miami Dolphins, and he's a free agent. Wouldn't cost the Steelers anything to bring him in. Last year, there were people in the chat that wanted the Steelers to trade for Tyreek Hill. Now you don't have to trade for him. Now, granted, he's coming off of a horrible knee injury, and you're going to need to make sure that he's 100%. What part of that is missing? Like, if the thing about Tyreek Hill that made him so special is that he was super fast, super twitchy, and he could get in and out of breaks without slowing down. That's what made him special, other than he could just run by everybody. Well, if he can't do that anymore because of a knee injury, if he's not the same twitchy guy, then his value goes way down. The Steelers don't need that. So you don't need that. Don't need it. Steel City say, you taught me this, Big B. The game is still won between the tackles. You damn right it is, man. It just is. It just is. And the reason that I always lean on the game being won, and we'll get back to Tyreek Hill, but the reason I always lean on that is because if your quarterback's having a bad day and your wide receivers are average, you can still turn around and hand the football to your running back and get you 4 or 5 yards. When your O-line is good, your entire football team is good. That's the thing. When you got a good O-line, your whole team is good, man. But anyway, getting back to Tyreek Hill, sorry, I just wanted to address that. You know, the one thing is, and you guys are saying it, too much outside distraction, a lot of noise with Tyreek. You know, I was on the hey, go trade for the guy. We don't have anything else. We don't have anybody else. Go trade for him. He's really good. Now, but once you destroy a knee, I'm like, I'm not sure you're going to be the same guy. So since you're not that guy, or I'm not sure that you can be that guy, I don't need to bring it in. I was willing to overlook the off-field and the locker room stuff to somewhat. You know, him quitting on the Dolphins in 2024 really bugged the shit out of me, to be honest with you. And he quit on them. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. If y'all don't remember, the last game of the year, he didn't go back in the football game and he wasn't hurt. They were looking for him to go back in and he wouldn't go back in, if y'all can't remember that. And he said he was just frustrated because they weren't going to make the playoffs, so he didn't want to play anymore. Yeah, y'all are right. Y'all are right. And I was wrong at the time. I was wrong. Because to be quite honest with you, I was just desperate, screaming about we needed a wide receiver. I wasn't going to be able to get past him quitting on his team. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. There ain't no way in the world I would have been able to get past that. Because the first sign of any trouble, that's exactly where I would have run to, is he's a quitter, and y'all wouldn't have let me hold it down. So, yeah, no. So, I forgot. I mean, you remember, he quit on the team, man. He quit on him. So, that's what it is. Steel City said at this stage, price won't match the production. You're probably right. Jordan Barnes says that we should sign Johan Dotson as our slot receiver. Maybe. Maybe. So Kenneth Jones said, obviously they didn't forget that. No, you're right. The Dolphins didn't. They just said, no, we're done. And the Dolphins are like, screw it, man. We'll take the cap hit. It's like $28 million, too. They're like, we'll take the dead cap hit. We're done. We're done. We're done. B. Dot says, I hate quitters, Big B. That's why I don't want Ayuk either, because our QB going to bring frustration. Yeah. Brandon Ayuk is a no for me. I've been done because I don't even know what Brandon Ayuk's issue was with the 49ers last year, other than he wanted to get paid, he got paid, then he got hurt, then he didn't want to rehab, and he didn't want to play with the 49ers anymore. That was his problem. He wanted to get paid, then he got paid, but he never wanted to be with the 49ers. Well, then you could have left. Yeah, I don't want Brandon Ayuk either, because Brandon Ayuk literally didn't even show up for his team, much less quit on his team. He didn't even show up for him. That's not somebody we want in our locker room. Mike said, can you imagine the reaction from Hill the first time Driftwood yells at him? Yeah. I don't know. Driftwood seemed to only yell at certain guys. Like, you didn't see him out there yelling at DK a lot. He yelled at Calvin Austin, Roman Wilson, and Kenneth Gainwell. You didn't see him, like, he didn't try Pat Fryermuth. He didn't try Darnell Washington. And maybe you could say, well, they were always in the right spot. True. But, for me, it's just too much drama with Tyreek Hill. It's too much. It's too much. That's right. They paid $28 million to get rid of him. They just, his dead cap number is $28 million. And they said, goodbye. We're done with you. So, the producer's chiming in. Said every wide receiver that goes on the pivot flames out. Ayuk, Claypool, who else? Ugh. Claypool. Jeez. Oh. Said Calvin is more his size. You're right. No, and that's my thing, KTB. I don't think he's going to be the same. I don't think that Tyreek Hill is going to be the same guy. That's a nasty knee injury, man. And like I said, what makes him special? Well, it was a couple of things. Clearly, he was the fastest guy in the league because he could just run by you. Just whatever coverage, he's just running past you. But what really made him special is that he could get up to speed in one step, but he was also able to make cuts without breaking down, slowing down, all of those things. He can no longer do that. Then, his special sauce is now gone. And I'm special powers, I'm out of there. Special sauce, that's not good. Pause. Gee, many Christmas. Pause. Lord have mercy. What the hell am I doing? Jason says, I trust Hill. He works harder than any player. He also quit on him. So I don't know that you can trust a quitter. Just something to keep in mind. Mike in Texas. He brought up Claypool. That's more push-ups. I agree. I agree. I agree. Yeah, I know, Somber. I don't know what I'm thinking, man. Oh, man. Now you're going overboard. Y'all stop. No, the trademark is Big B special sauce. No, it's not. Y'all are going overboard now. Okay? I would say something, but I don't even want to get y'all started because I know where y'all go. And y'all are bad people, man. Y'all are bad people in the chat. I love every one of you. Y'all are bad people. Said also, Big B, the reason why I said we should sign Johan Dotson is because he's cheap off free agency. And two, we want to win now. He also a Super Bowl champ that performed well in. Well, true, but I don't think the Steelers need to be cheap. When it comes to wide receivers, I don't think the Steelers need to be cheap. I think they need to spend some money. That's the thing. Look, you're trying to upgrade the roster. I don't think that you have to be cheap. I get where you're going with it, and it's smart money, but I think he's also going to be like a third wave free agent. So I think you can still get him. If things don't work out where you're trying to go, then yes, you're right. But I think he's more of a third wave wide receiver to go get. So I'm with you. So Mike said, "Isn't special sauce the next T-shirt?" No, no. So Aaron says he's ran some mocks where Sonny Styles is available at 21. I'll run that card in. The thing about it is, the very first, actually, is the first two mocks that I did. Very first one is before the Super Bowl was even done. Sonny Styles was there. Every one that I have done since then, he's nowhere to be found. He is gone. He is gone by basically 14. He is gone. But if he's around at 21, the Steelers got to seriously think about that. They got to seriously think about that. So, Steel City Sal says Alec Pierce stretches the field without demanding the spotlight. He's going to demand some cash, but you're right. And he's a better route runner than what he gets credit for. I'm not saying he's a phenom, but he's a better route runner than George Pickens because he can run more routes than what George Pickens. I'm not saying he's better because he's not better than George Pickens. So I don't want to hear you guys think that I'm saying that. He's not better than George Pickens, but at route running, he's better. He's also faster than Pickens. So, Somber said, "Do you think we'll run into the same issue we've had for the last few years with free agents being reluctant to sign here due to the lack of quarterback?" Probably, especially if this Aaron Rodgers thing doesn't get figured out quickly. If it doesn't get figured out quickly, then I think if Rodgers signs before free agency and commits before then, I think based on what he did last year and the new offense, I think that would be more of to have wide receivers sign. Because I'm not saying Rodgers was great or anything like that. I thought he was above average last year. He was pretty good. And that would have receivers sign because now they're going to think, okay, Rodgers comes back. It's a much better offensive system, more conducive to wide receivers. So, yeah, let me get my money and let me go play for Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh. I can see myself doing that. But if it was the same, okay, it's Arthur Smith, and I got to deal with that. I don't know who the quarterback's even going to be. I got to wait till June. Yeah, no, I'm not signing with Pittsburgh. I'm not even going to entertain it. So, yeah, if I'm the Steelers, like the reports are, the Steelers told them we got to know about March 1. And if you don't tell us March 1, then we're going to just move in a different direction. I think that's smart. Let me ask you guys this question. And I know people keep talking about Malik Willis. And Howard, I don't know. Malik Willis's sample size has been so small. I don't think, because I heard that Malik Willis, not heard, I've seen the reports that he's going to command the same contract that Justin Fields got. 2 years, $40 million with $20 million guaranteed? Hell no. I'm not giving him anywhere close to that. But let me ask you this, and nobody's talking about this right now. You're talking about signing Aaron Rodgers. Would you sign Kirk Cousins? Would you bring Kirk Cousins in to be your bridge quarterback for a year? Would you do that? Kirk Cousins, familiar offense, quarterback conducive. Would you like that? Now, he can't run around. He's not mobile at all. And he's an interception machine. But at the end of the year, last year for Atlanta, he was pretty good. He was pretty good. You can't deny that. He was pretty good last year in Atlanta. But That's the whole thing. Is like, would you bring in Kirk Cousins? And again, you're only doing it for a year. I don't know. I don't know. Z, you're going to stop saying this out in public, man, or they're going to throw you in a padded room. He said, Joe Flacco, Pro Bowler. Stop it. Stop it right now. Or trade for the Pro Bowler in Cleveland. Shedeur Sanders. Trade for that Pro Bowler. So no, and Somber, I'm saying if Rodgers doesn't come, I would much rather have Aaron Rodgers than Kirk Cousins. I'm saying if Rodgers doesn't decide or decides no, he's not playing football, or decides he doesn't want to play for the Steelers, what do you do? Do you, at that point, do you say, yeah, I'll sign Cousins? Or do you say, I'll just play Will Howard or Mason Rudolph or bring in some competition? I don't know. It'd be tricky. It'd be tricky. But again, here's another thing, because a lot of people are saying just draft a guy. And remember what our owner said. Our owner, our fearless leader, he doesn't believe in rebuilding. So just keep all of this in mind when you start talking and making your predictions on what we should do. You got to remember, got to live in reality. And in reality, our owner has told us, hey, man, I'm not rebuilding nothing. We don't rebuild. You remember what he said? I don't believe in wasted years. We don't have to rebuild anything. We're ready to win right now. And with somebody that's ready to win right now, that person isn't going to rely on Will Howard to be that guy, barring injury. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think Art Rooney II wants to play Will Howard. I think he wants a veteran to be the quarterback of the Steelers this year, whoever that may be. That's just my personal opinion on it. And my thing is, if you're going to play Will Howard, you know who has to get drafted first? Our main man from Penn State. If your plan to go into this season is to say, well, you know what, let's go ahead and give Will Howard the opportunity. Well, then, yeah, our main man from Penn State's got to be the pick. Wide receiver be damned, because you need to be able to run the football. You got to run the football, and you got to protect them. No, not Aller. No, not Aller. Our main man, Leon. I think it's Leon. It might be Eon. Just got to draft him at left guard. So that's the thing. That would be who you have to draft, because you got to protect the quarterback and you got to run the football. So, all right, people. That's what I got for you guys today. Tonight, the big show will be live and kicking. So make sure everybody is there. Thank you guys for showing up. Sorry we were late today. I had to run to the doctor this morning. So appreciate you guys being in here, being patient with me. If you haven't become a member, make sure you sign up to become a member if you want to help support the channel that way. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Do me a favor, leave a comment, question, or anything in the comments once this video goes off, and make sure you hit that like button. See you guys tonight. Again, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, the big show with me and Big G. Appreciate you guys, man, and aloha.